Right, how y'all doing? Oh man, just in case anyone was wondering, God, today's stream's gonna be a nightmare. Speak the words. In case anyone was wondering, this is how long it takes to render a 25-ish minute vlog recorded in H.265 in H.265. That's quite a long time. Wow. I'm going to be honest with you, after looking at the footage in that yesterday, I don't know if it's even worth recording in H.265 at this point. File size is still pretty big. Either way, keep going. Can't make judgments. Can't pass judgments on one date. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Oh. So tired. I'm going to bed. We just got to have bed. I didn't sleep well last night. Need coffee. Need coffee now. Black just left my soul. It's the first time I felt hunger pains in ages. It's quite clear right now that for I don't know how long I've been replacing sleep and actual food with sugar and at this point caffeine. Oh. Well, we just come down to the holiday park nearby where I live. It's where we normally walk Charlie, and we've just seen, because we're inquiring about some stuff like this, so like when Zebra and that come down, we can put people up in something like this. That Mum's already took the initiative and is heading in. So should we have a look? What's this one? It's Willoughby Sky, 34 grand. Right, I'm telling you now, because I look through the windows, it's nicer in here than it is inside my house. So, through the keyhole. What's this? Oh wow, fridge.
Fridge freezer.
Jesus Christ. Right, so.
Anything you haven't really got is a washing machine.
Yeah, who cares about that? You've got the you've got a place just down the.
Yeah.
If you come out here and just down.
You can always fit a washing machine underneath the sink, really.
I mean, sort of throw out there, this is nicer than my house.
Gorgeous. I'd live here.
Thankfully they've got plastic on the floor, so I don't have to worry too much about dragging my boots around, but look at this. Look at this.
It's gone down £5 grand.
This is actually pretty big in the grand scheme, isn't it?
That is, yeah. Yeah.
That's really, I know this isn't, you know, through the keyhole style video and that, but I mean...
Not being funny, but no disrespect, but something like this would do William and Theo each.
I could happily live in this, Jesus.
God, yeah. Then they ain't got to worry about any gardening or anything like that, and that's...
Right. I mean, it's gorgeous. And people look down on people who live in stuff like this.
Wow, it's absolutely... There's another one for sale over there. We'll have to go over there in a minute.
Yeah.
Try and have a little view round there.
Yeah.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
So, is this just like covered space to take it?
Yeah.
Oh well. Storage.
I just love the whole...
They've done it up really nice.
The kitchen and... Oh wow, it's absolutely gorgeous.
It's a bit sticky. Corridor's a bit claustrophobic. Bedroom?
This would do, yeah, me and Dad, this would do.
No, I'd imagine. Didn't you say someone you knew had bought something like this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh wow. Bedroom. That's not bad actually. You know?
Yeah, you could do things with it. I mean, you could keep it as two singles, or you could put one single but make it a bit of a bigger single.
Yeah. I mean, Christ.
You know, you got your gas. It's double glazed. That's probably triple glazed as well, so that in the winter, because this place is open 12 months of the year.
I will say one thing. I just imagine if the kids come storming out,
And smack
whack!
you in the head.
She'll walk through from one door to the other, or one room to the other. Everyone's trying to bail out the bathroom or whatever really
Yeah,
quick.
but you wouldn't need to worry about it because you've got a toilet and a sink in the master
What's-
bedroom.
Oh, hello. Really?
Yeah, you've got a toilet and sink in here.
Oh, hang on.
And a wardrobe.
Shower with extractor.
Spaces. You don't really want too
Toilet.
much. I
Wow.
know you've got telly there.
It's me. Hang on.
But then I wouldn't worry about telly in the bedrooms.
No, God, no. Oh, this is nice. This is nice.
Storage
I
could
could,
be a problem, but then
I'm not really, I will be honest with you, this isn't really my kind of aesthetic, but it's very nice. The fact that this is laid out nicer than my house.
well, I'm just thinking of you get something like this. I could get two of
Oh,
these.
is that the
That's
ensuite?
the ensuite. I could get two of these, put
Yeah.
some decking round it.
Yeah.
Get two of these
Oh, well.
and make £500-600 a week.
Why not?
Because that's brand new, isn't it? It's
That's really nice.
modern and up to date, and that's what people want to come and stay in.
Yeah. This is really...
And then I wouldn't have to worry about having to go to work
Yeah.
to do so.
So you got...
I even like the decor, to be totally honest.
Yeah. It's, well, it's pre-set up, isn't it? So you don't need anything, do you? You don't need anything. It's all ready to go.
It's very nice.
Wow.
Got plenty of PowerPoints to put your telly on.
Well, let's be fair. You put your telly there, and I'll put whatever you want underneath it. That's it. Yeah, it's done.
Yeah.
Move in
Yeah.
with your TV set, and you're done.
Yeah. They're telling you no exit there because obviously that's
There's no deck in there. You fall clean out.
full bit of decking, but I don't know how that worked. That actually,
What?
the decking out there.
Same as some of the other ones I've got decking around here, haven't they?
Yeah, I see.
This is really, really nice. But we'd like to see, Mum would like to buy a couple, and Inky and I would like to buy one. We were looking into the brick constructions, which
Go
are,
over and have a look into this one.
one second, the brick ones are, the exposure ain't going to change very well, hang on. Boop. Those ones, those are pretty feckin' expensive in comparison, so probably the not. But I don't understand. How would you knock someone who lives in something like that? It's gorgeous. 29 grand. Is the door open?
Yeah, that's this one's 2012, and that one's
Oh, right.
2018.
Okay. So shall we see what you can get for a little bit less? In what year was this again? 2012. One second.
It's still,
Is it still all right?
actually, yeah, for that price, they're still.
Are they the same models? I can't remember which one I
No,
said
they're
was.
not the same models, no.
Okay. Right. So this is
6
what I know.
older.
okay.
You can see that though.
Oh yeah, I get you.
Yeah,
But it's still. Oh yeah.
yeah, you
But
can see
I'll be
that.
honest with you. It's still nicer than my house.
But
well,
for that
not
price,
really,
though,
but-
it's
I'd live it.
still not a bad price because you've still got a big living area.
Yeah.
Kitchen. It's just that one's done out more modern, but you're paying an extra 10 grand.
Yeah. In fairness, I'd live in it, given the option.
Yeah, you've got a nice little bathroom there.
So if anyone wants to snipe them and invest before we do, let's come over here so you can actually see it properly. No editing this stuff. We just go in live.
You've still got a little ensuite as well, Luke.
Oh, I.
It's just that it's not as classy,
No, I get you.
but I'd live in it.
Yeah. Well.
I mean, you put 29,000, and you've still got a twin room,
Mm.
double room. That's the cosmetically,
It's, yes. The
it's not as posh.
well, it's not as modern.
Yeah.
But even if someone were to say, "Hey, Skaz, mate, I've gone and bought one of these," I couldn't take the piss out of them for it.
Well, no.
It's as nice as fuck.
I mean, it's got a built-in fridge freezer.
Mm-hmm. It is literally just the colour scheme. It's the aesthetics of
Yeah,
it.
it's the same, but it's not as
Modernised.
modernised. For but that's your little bathroom as well. But that'd do. That would do. I mean, then you've got 10 grand to spend on something else then, haven't you?
Mhm. Wait, so was that a bathroom as well?
Yeah.
So here.
Oh yeah, you got everything you got in there,
It's basically the same.
but that's the newer model and more up to date, I suppose you'd say.
Yeah. I would.
But that's bigger. Would you say that was bigger over there?
I don't really.
come into
The
the
other
lounge-
the other one feels.
That felt bigger, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, look. There's plenty of room here to sit your entire goddamn family,
Yeah.
and then some.
Yeah. If
You know.
Four could live in here quite nicely.
And if you were really that tired of life, you could just open the door and throw yourself out.
They've got quite a few here actually for sale. There's another one over the back here.
They do. It's quite nice. How about for 24,950 a 38 by 12 2015 3 bed? One of these. One of these. Should we go in? Have a look. Oh wow! This
This
okay.
is a used one,
Yeah.
and the one we just been in is a used one. That one at the back there is a new one. It's brand new.
Someone want to buy a kidney for 24 grand, so I
that's
can
nice, isn't it?
so I can move in. I mean, you know, it's all right.
This is what you can make your own mark on, isn't it?
Yeah.
You put your own bits and pieces in on it.
Plenty of room around there to chill out on. I just thought that it's really weird, but some of these feel bigger than my house.
Yeah.
It's weird.
But this has got
Really
three
goddamn weird.
bedrooms in it. Toilet with a shower.
Now, where would you put your
Oh yeah.
Put your
yeah, this is very
TV
basic,
there?
really. You've got a toilet with a shower.
One
and
second.
then next
One second.
door,
Stools.
you've got a toilet with a sink.
Instant wear. Right, so what's the main?
Right, there you've got a toilet with a shower on that in it.
Yeah.
And then next door to that you've got a toilet with a sink.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So you obviously haven't got an ensuite in here, I'd say.
Toilet with
No,
a-
you haven't.
Toilet with a shower, okay.
Right, then you've got two singles in here.
Which is why I don't do real estate photography.
Yeah, I don't think, no, this is very, very basic.
Hey,
But-
I'd take very basic for 24 grand. Toilet,
Oh, yeah.
wash basin. If you ever need to cry yourself to sleep one night after a bender, there you
But
go.
what I'm thinking is, this sort of price.
Oh
this
God,
could be
that's
let out to
really
people
trippy.
yeah.
Sorry,
on
that
holiday.
really threw me out. Then I was like, hang on a minute. There's a the corridor's got. For a minute, it's going to sound really stupid. I was like, there's a mirror.
But even so, if you've got a family
How
of
could it be a
six,
mirror? Because there's a fucking wall there, you dick.
family of six coming down for holiday and you charge them
Oh,
£500.
blimey.
Yeah, so you can sleep 6 people in here.
Wow. Okay.
So you could
Oh wow,
always-
this is actually quite.
Yeah. It's quite big, really.
Yeah.
You could always take one of the beds out,
I'd take this.
and then you've got one of the beds out of each room.
I
and
know
then-
it seems quite cramped in the grand scheme, but in being.
Yeah, but if you were a child and you put maybe a
Yeah, but
little bit big bed in here.
What I'm saying is, if
and
you were
take
to
one
imagine
out-
your average like American family, they'd
Yeah.
freak the fuck out at something this
Oh.
size. But us being British, we live in small houses all the time
Yeah.
anyway, so I
But
don't
you
really.
could take a bed out of each of the two twin rooms
Mhm.
and put some more units here with a telly and what have you, and it's no more than what your bedroom would be anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, the same as in here. You take one of the beds out, you've got two singles,
I know you.
but if you're going to rent this out for a holiday home,
Yeah.
you can fit a family of 6 in here.
Yeah.
And charge them £500 a week.
It's a bit too tight for me. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
Come on, fat scares, get in the gap.
Might be really good for a spaniel, but
No, he'd get stuck. Well, actually, that probably help if I moved the mattress over a bit. But
But no, even so, it's basic.
Now, let me just go over and see if that's moved that over a bit. 'Cause if it has, and
No,
I know it's.
it's basic.
I know,
but
because it
it's-
just feels like the gap is so small. You have to literally throw yourself into bed from the bottom.
Yeah, that's all right. You can do that.
Oh no, it just literally the mattress is huge versus the
If I was to buy this,
versus the bed.
listen, if I was to buy this and say you and Nick, right, here you go. You wanted an office space. You give me a couple of £100 a month.
Deal.
Precisely.
I want.
And you'd be able to,
My house is too fat
without
for that.
people know, I don't know how you'd get your internet and that, but you'd be able to come
We
down
could just,
here.
if literally for something like the podcast or whatever, we could connect up to our phones.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. You could come down here, you could do your stream, you could put a setup in each room for different things.
Yeah.
Put blinds up the window so people can't see it.
Yep.
And then you'd still have somewhere to make yourselves a drink.
Yeah.
And crash out in the course of the night if you need.
Well, this would be ideal for the 24-hour, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Set up the living room for. I know it sounds.
This would be ideal for when what's his name's going to come down again.
Oh, what, Zaber and
Yeah.
Rain and Mav and that lot.
Yeah.
You know. But like, this is what I'm trying to say. Like, it's you know. Ooh. It's just really
And you'd probably be able to knock them down a bit on this because it is basic.
I'll be honest with you, I still like it. It's a bit. Some of the bedrooms feel a bit cramped to me, but
I'd probably give them 20 grand tomorrow.
yeah.
Or, you know. Because you've still got plenty of room.
Oh God, yeah.
I mean, this was a used one. This
Yeah.
is what somebody's
Do I
bought.
just see storage underneath the chair?
Yeah, there probably is, yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, you could put all your computer bits underneath here and nobody would be able to see them.
Yeah. That's quite nice. I think the layout's a bit weird on this one, but
Yeah.
that's nice.
It's very open, isn't it? I think it might be a bit too open.
Yeah, see, that doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
That doesn't bother me in the goddamn slightest. This feels, again, still nicer than my house. But I think the reason I can say that is because my house is so cluttered.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Not bad though.
But you think for 24,000,
Mm-hmm.
and if this place is open 12 months of the year,
Yep.
how much money you could actually make? If
I
you
see. I
rented
don't.
this out?
I haven't even thought of that, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
See, this is what I'm thinking of because it's income from me being retired, isn't it?
yeah.
Or not being retired, but let's have a look. So if you say £500 a week,
I guess.
because the one we stayed at in Scotland was basic than this,
They're more basic than this. Okay.
and we paid £600.
Who did you?
Yeah.
Oh.
And that was really basic because it all depends what you put in there. You could stick a microwave up the side.
Yeah.
Put
Well,
a
the
telly
first one we
there.
went into already had
Yeah.
your microwave
If
and
you
all that
made
stuff
it
in.
sort of like that, if you say times 4 and then times that by 12,
Yeah, because it's open 12 months.
you'd make 24,000. You'd pay for this in a year.
That'd be nice.
You'd pay for it in a year.
I don't know if I'd pay the money they're asking for the brick constructions at the moment.
No, but this.
'Cause they are pretty-
And that, I'd pay that.
Oh
tomorrow.
God, yeah, I would,
That
yeah.
Caravan, I'd pay that tomorrow. So
first
that
one we
might
looked
be
in.
the way me and Dad might have to swing.
Yeah.
Maybe come down here and get 2 vans.
Mhm.
'Cause the boys would be able to live in here anyway when they get older. Because
Yeah.
it's
Oh God, yeah.
ample for them.
Jesus Christ, if this was an option for me back in the day, I'd have had one of these.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to remember,
Yeah.
all them years
Yeah.
ago, back when the log cabins by the entrance to this place went up for sale, I wanted to buy one of those, didn't I, when I was on about 20 odd K a year.
Yeah.
And I didn't. I passed up because I was an idiot.
But like I say, this could be paid for within
A year.
within a year. Well, any of them could
Yeah.
within
Well,
a
a
year.
year, 2 years.
Yeah. Because ideally, I'd say although hose seasons take their cut and this, that and the other, if I had something which was like the first one we went into, I'd
Yeah.
want a little bit more during the summer season.
Yeah.
I'd want a little bit more money during the summer season.
These are nice, though.
Um,
These are nicer than I...
I might have to get Dad down here actually.
Yes. Grab him.
Dad down here because he's only got until November and they'll still be selling them in November.
Well, probably the ones you like will be gone by then, but
No, because they've got plenty of spaces left to put others, haven't
they have. I'll give you that.
This would be ideal for like people you've got coming down to come and stay, like Zaber and his missus and Victoria.
Yeah. Well, yeah, why not? So I have, because me and Inky would like to buy something like this as well, just to say, like, when Zaber and Mav and Rain and that
They've
come
got
down.
somewhere to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, drag Pitbull down here, drag Van down, say, look, you know, stay as
Yeah.
long as you want, you've got a place.
Yeah. Is there any others?
I don't know, to be fair.
Let's have a little look. It's not raining there.
Just like running to get away from the rain.
No, that's. See, they're gonna put more down here. You can see.
No,
that.
because they've already plotted them out.
Yeah, you can see that. But no, my favourite one favourite. This is ideal because there's 3 bedrooms.
Yeah.
It's got 3 bedrooms.
Like, it feels tight.
Feels tight, but if you've got like say 6 people.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine.
And you've only got to pay a couple £100.
Yeah, why not?
And let's face it, if Xavier and that came down and he's got it for a week for nothing, he ain't gonna moan.
No, well, yeah, but no one would. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, for me, in places it feels a bit cramped,
Yeah.
and I'm a twiggy motherfucker.
I
And
mean, for a podcast as well and stuff like that, once a fortnight or a 24-hour live stream, or you coming down doing your stream for a couple of hours, you know, that'd
Yeah.
be ideal.
no, I
You
get it.
could use it as storage as well.
Yeah, I get it.
I mean, you could store all your bits, what you've got in your loft, underneath the seats and what have you, if you store them properly.
Yeah.
And then they're there to get to.
Yeah.
24,000, it's not bad.
I'm gonna have to try and recap. Recap. That was neat going around the caravan stuff. Completely unexpected, to be honest with you. My mum was like, "Hey, should we just go check these things out?" Because you had your tutor come around today, didn't you, Inky? You were doing your magic coursey stuff and that, and so we just went and had a look. Mum's been looking into some stuff like that for a while now, and we just went down there because we were going to go speak to some of the people on the site, and there was no one available. But they, handed us some information, some documentation, some booklets, things like that, and then we went walking around the park. And some of the caravans just happened to be open, so we went in and had a look. And I should actually just quickly correct myself. The things that I pointed to were not brick structures. Those were pretty much the same as caravans, but those were more like your holiday chalet kind of things. A bit behind those are the brick structures that my mum had been looking at prior, but she's a bit on that one now as soon as she's had a look at the caravans. But a lot of those are really, really, really nice. Really nice. So I come back home. I'm going to apologise because I didn't get much, really any footage to show of this, but I come home and a package has arrived. One of my projects has arrived sooner than I thought it would, so I thought I'd get kind of cracking on it. The project was that another laptop arrived. It was a Lenovo ThinkPad X230. And I got it incredibly cheap. It's in very good condition. I got it very cheap simply because it had a password on it. In fact, it's an even better deal because they sent through like a bag. The power supply was the wrong power supply, but that doesn't matter. And spoiler, just a random thing, the Wi-Fi antenna was disconnected. One of the antennas was disconnected, so I connected those up. But it was sold with a password, specifically a BIOS password. Now, there's a very simple fix for a BIOS password, but the symbol isn't a BIOS password. That's a supervisor password. But I thought, you know what, I kind of know how to disable this, so I'll go around the houses. They've said to me if I open it up, my warranty is void. Don't care. Because I didn't plan on sending it back as long as it was in good condition, and it was in amazing condition, especially for the price. I configured it as kind of minimally as I could as well, so like lowest RAM, lowest storage. So a BIOS password. The easiest way to get past a BIOS password, like they advertised, would be to open it up and pull the CMOS battery. And then when any residual charge in the machine runs out, the BIOS password would have just disappeared because everything in the BIOS would have reset. It needs to have power to hold that data, even if only a tiny amount. So you open it up, pull the battery, and we'll see how it goes. Now, I should just quickly mention what a supervisor password actually does. A supervisor password is a password that is stored on an EEPROM, which is a small chip that it holds information even if there's no power. Whether there's a CMOS or a power supply or a battery or whatever, it will hold data that is stored in on this chip. That's like the one job of this chip. That's not what specifically what an EEPROM does, but that's what this EEPROM does on this board. Okay, and when the supervisor password isn't entered correctly, you cannot enter the BIOS, or you can enter the BIOS, but you can't change anything. You cannot change boot order. You can't set date and time. You can't really do anything. So it kind of gets to be a bit awkward. And it should be mentioned that boot order is changing the boot order is disabled by default. Like the quick menu to get to the you'd tap F8 on a lot of other computers or whatever, and it'd come up with these are the devices that you can choose to boot from. That's disabled by default on the machine in the BIOS. So without a supervisor password, you're shit out of luck if you want to change that. So here's where a problem comes in. Okay, if you clear the CMOS, I don't know how accurate this is to be honest because I didn't really bother testing it, but you pull out the CMOS battery, you clear the BIOS, and it will then come up with an error saying, "Oh no, set the date and time to continue. Press F1 to enter the BIOS or whatever, or the setup." Here's where a massive problem happens. If you've reset the BIOS, so there's no date, no time, and all that kind of fluff, and the computer's now having a hissy because it doesn't know what to do. So a lot of stuff on your computer is directly tied to the date and time on your BIOS. If you can't enter in the supervisor password, you can't set the correct date and time, therefore the computer continues to have a hissy. So, and by the way, this can happen if if you've got a supervisor password on your machine and the machine just decides, let's say the battery runs out, your BIOS battery runs out, you are fucked at this point. Thankfully I got the machine really cheap because there is a thing you can do to get rid of the supervisor password on any Lenovo laptop at or under the 30 series, so the T430, the X230, and down 220, 230, 220, 420, blah, 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 whatever the number is, and a 2 or a 4, right? So the zeros, so the hundreds, the tens, the 20s, the 30s, you can do this trick on. Everything after that, so the T440 and X240, they store the stuff in a different way. But okay, so I'm now at this point where I've cleared the BIOS, just to kind of prove a point. It's not a BIOS password. It comes up with the error. Set the date and time. Can't do it. It's the thing. So I tear the laptop down completely, and this is more complicated than tearing down one of my T430s because I have to reroute cables and things. This is where I sort out the Wi-Fi cable. And there's a chip. It's a very tiny chip, as you can see. Zooming in, you have to understand that that's like the screws next to it that you can see there are like this size. It's the size of a regular ass screwdriver. So the chip is smaller. It's really, really small, and dexterity is not really on my side. My hands are pretty bad. I mean, okay, example, the tweezers here are the ends of the tweezers are wider. They will easily bridge 2 pins through thickness of the things, like from this end, not from not poking them that way. I literally mean the pinprick end laying across the chip. That's enough to bridge connections. They're that small. What you have to do is completely tear down the laptop, left the keyboard plugged in because I needed to be able to use the power button, which is on the keyboard, and you have to bridge the 2 pins on, I guess, from where the camera was looking at it would be nearest top left pins of that chip. You bridge the top 2 to short them out so you have to turn the machine on and then bridge it. Hit F1 to enter the BIOS, and then biggity bam, job done. Keep it held down, go to security, and then go to the password section. Okay? And I'll say like enter a password. If it says enter old password or enter current password, you've done it wrong. I didn't have that issue. I got it right first time. Thank you. But you if you put the thing on there and it says okay, now just put in a new password, just tap enter, release. So you've entered like 2 sets of nothing. Hit enter again. Release the shorten the pins. Take it away. Enter, save and exit. The password's gone. You've corrupted the data on the chip. You've now entered in a fresh password of nothing. There's no supervisor password anymore. Yeah, you have to just bridge those 2 pins. If you bridge them before you turn the machine on, chances are it won't boot. Or it might just hang. It'll just sit there and do nothing. But if you do it that way, for me at least, I've managed to get past the supervisor password. As you saw, it had a supervisor password on it. I can assure you it doesn't have one on there now. I don't think I actually got any footage of it booting up without the password on it, but it doesn't have one. I can now happily enter the BIOS. I can change any settings I want. I've changed it so I can access the quick boot menu or the boot select menu and all that kind of stuff. It's neat. I've got an SSD coming for it tomorrow. Basically, those laptops tend to go for about 120 to 150. I didn't pay anywhere near that for that machine because it had a password on it. But I just thought it was a bit kind of that they said they were selling it, saying it had a BIOS password, and it didn't. Because if someone does what most people would do if they see BIOS password, they'll pull the CMOS and then they'll get stuck. The machine will just get stuck. They won't fix it for you. And most places won't fix it for you. Lenovo, the makers of the laptop, definitely won't fix it for you. A lot of the forums for Lenovo laptops won't even let you talk about bypassing the security measure because even though these laptops that you can do this trick on came out in 2012 and 2013, they still do not want you talking about bypassing the supervisor password. That's level of security. They don't want to hear it. It's pretty simple, even though it's fiddly, but they don't want you talking about it. But to tell the average user that it's a BIOS password is just so wrong. Because someone could really get fucked up if people aren't confident in tech. Because I wasn't particularly confident. I was like, I don't know if I'll be able to do it. I'll try it, but I don't know if I'll be able to. As I said yesterday, this is one of those projects that I wasn't really, I wouldn't spend money on it if I didn't have that extra coming in this time. And I actually managed to get a nice little machine out of it. I feel confident that I could do it again and again and again this time. But for a lot of people, they wouldn't want to, take the machine apart, take the keyboard out, take the palm rest off, disconnect the Wi-Fi, disconnect the power cables, peel back the black plastic to uncover the motherboard, start it up, short a chip, potentially break the board by shorting out the wrong thing and all that kind of stuff. A lot of people wouldn't want to do that, and then at that point they basically have a laptop that is a pile of turd. I would not recommend you buy a laptop with a supervisor password unless you know someone that can get the password off. You could literally desolder the EEPROM, which is an option, and then plug it into a writer or reader or whatever and then erase it. That is totally a thing. There are even places online that will sell those EEPROMs for you to desolder the one that was on there and put another one on there. Why you'd want to do that, I don't know. But at least on these models of laptops, you can just get away with shorting them. So, did that, remove the password, super happy fun times. And that's basically been my day. Whilst I was doing that, I mean, it didn't take too long. I think maybe half hour to pull the whole thing apart and all that. Check it over, reconnect the Wi-Fi and all that because it wasn't connected when I took it apart. Make sure that it was all working, make sure the speakers were working, the screen was good and all that. Half hour or so, Inky and Mum went back down to the caravan park so Inky could go and have a look at the caravans. What did you think, Inky?
I thought it was alright, there's a lot of potential.
Inky thinks there's potential, bless her. And and then that's been kind of our day really, hasn't it? I streamed. It was a disaster. I was tired, couldn't speak, and no one was particularly interested in what I was playing. East 5. I still think I think it's a really fun East game. I can see why it's not as popular as the other ones, but it is actually a pretty good game. It just doesn't have a lot of that magic that other East games have, and I think that's largely because of the platform it's on, Super Nintendo. It doesn't have the amazing CD music and stuff like that, and it's not going to because it's on a Super Nintendo, cartridge based and all that. Yeah, I've got lost track of what I was talking about. Oh, and Grandia HD collection came out today. Woo! So that's the end of the thing.
I've got a question.
What's that?
Why do we call it a building if it's already been built?
And it's a structure.
No, if we live in buildings,
Yeah.
right? When you're building a house, you're building it.
Yeah.
But we live in the buildings that have already been built. So
Yeah,
why
I
don't
get
we call
that.
them Built.
Because that's daft.
Shut the fuck up, it makes sense to me.
So, yeah. And now this vlog has turned into like a 30-minute ramble of me trying to explain something that is really quite simple in the grand scheme. Hopefully that was easy enough for people to understand. Find chip, short 2 legs on chip, short it, meaning basically stick something metal between the two so that they have contact, electrical contact, and then bye-bye goes password. Do it a couple of times if you need to. It's pretty simple. If I can do it with my really crappy hands, I think most other people can do it. I'm really pleased by the condition of the laptop. Again, especially for the price. I know people who have paid like £150 for one of those laptops and had something that's just a complete crap shack. You know. So, yeah. Gravy. The next project is to have another older laptop, but that will literally require desoldering a chip to flash the BIOS on it. Something I can't do yet because the software repository that I want to use to flash, or the software that I want to flash onto the chip, doesn't seem to be up at the moment. LibreBoot, and I don't have a chip flasher or any clips or anything like that, or a solder a rework station or anything. So that's the next one. Yeah, fuck it. Long-winded. I'm going to bed. Alright day. Caravans. Would any of you all be willing to stay in a caravan like that?
Yeah.
How would you all feel to living in a caravan like that? Is there a negative stigma to things like that where you live? Because I know a lot of people are like, oh, trailer trash, why would you live in something like that? I know people who live in apartments way shittier than those caravans. I'm just saying, and they pay a lot more in rent. Let's put it this way, I know some people who live in apartments about the same size or smaller that are a damn sight shittier than those caravans, right? Their rent in those apartments could probably buy one of those caravans in like 2.5 years. So, hope you're well. I'll see you all with a bit of luck tomorrow. Fucking long-winded or what? Sorry.